I
Yeah.
have clients, like I said, I've been through divorces, I've been through pregnancies, I've been through breakups, I've been
Yep.
through,
All of it.
dating, all of that
All
with
of it.
them. And I
All
just,
at the same time with the same person.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, she knocks the freaking wax stick, lands in the middle of her head. Her head.
All that hair, I'd be like,
No.
yes. Did you go work out afterwards? Did you do this? Did you do that? And she's like, well, I did go swimming.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hello.
Hello.
That's one of the first things I tell you not to do.
Hi. What's going on?
Nothing much. How
No.
are you?
Good. Here we are, another week of stripped. Okay. In the spirit of Halloween, horror stories, horror stories, horror stories. I have one-ish. I mean, we all have couples. We could look back over the years and years, right? I mean, we all have the, oh my God, the client, oh my God, the wax, oh my God, it fell on her brow. But one, I guess it wasn't as horrible as I should say because it was actually my mother. So I'm waxing my mother and I'm waxing her face. So my mother's, I'm like, all right. So I'm waxing my mom. I'm in the salon. She comes in and her chin, her lip, she's Italian, she's hairy, she's got it all over the place. But I got my wax on my stick and I'm bringing it over and she's talking to me and her hands are all flying everywhere. And she's going, well, she knocks the freaking wax stick, lands in the middle of her head. I didn't wrap her hair. Lesson learned. Okay. In the middle of her thing. And thank God it was my mother because I said, Jesus Christ, Mom. And so now I have a clump of wax in her hair. It took 40 minutes and a lot of patience and a lot of breathing. Mommy, oh my goodness, what is going on? And I said, Mom, just lay here. You got to stop moving. You got to stop talking. So I just took oil and oil and oil and I took a comb and I thank God every day that was my mother and not a client, because I think I would have wrote the nasty Yelp review about this crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful. And I said, stop moving your arms, stop talking. So now I make sure I wrap my client's head and I'm telling them to just, if you have to talk, just keep your hands down because the stick's going to end up in your ear. But it was in her, like the middle of her head. It was like a lollipop of wax. I was going to go wax her chin and plopped it land right in her head. Nikila, I thought, I cried. I was on the verge of tears, breathing like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't cut it out. What was I going to do? So what to do? You're a professional, reel it in. Oil. And it came out. I mean, it took a little time. I'm not going to say she didn't lose a strand or two, but it came out. And thank God. Thank
Good.
goodness.
Thank God it was Mom, huh?
Thank God it was Mom. That's what I could say. I mean, I had to listen to her, but I will say, if it was ever a client, I would have been even more a real pain client.
Oh yeah, really. I had a guy walked in here the other day that I waxed his back and oh my gosh, it was super duper hairy, but it wasn't horror. I don't know. I just find joy when I see all that hair. I'd be like, yes. So I don't know. And it came out so good, but it probably was horrible for him, but it's just so good and satisfying to me. So I don't really have a whole lot of horror, especially
mine's are my family members.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, my kid. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's bad. This is what never to do as an esthetician. So what never to do is to bust out the wax after a few drinks on New Year's Eve when you think you can wax someone at home in your kitchen. Yeah, usually not a good thing to do. So I'm waxing my boyfriend's cousin. He goes, oh, just clean up the back of my neck. All right, sure, we could do that. Well, I put the wax too high up on his neck and it went like into his hair and then I couldn't get it off. And then I was pulling and then I just said, oh, I will never do this again. Learning lesson number 1. Do not drink. Learning lesson number 2, put their hands down, wrap the head, and don't do it if you've had a few drinks.
Right.
Yeah, bad story. Bad. It was bad. I was not proud of myself. It was not my finest waxing moment.
Oh yeah. I kind of talked last time about my waxing experience when I had to watch the YouTube video to
That's
learn.
right.
I think that was my horror story. And if you guys didn't catch it, it was when I first started waxing. I was at a location and I had never waxed a Brazilian. You know, the underarms, of course, you learn that stuff in school, but it took me almost it took me a long time to do this poor lady's wax because I didn't know what I was really doing. I was learning from YouTube.
Oh, no, that
So
is
that
so
was a
bad.
horror
Yeah,
story. Yeah, that was definitely,
that takes the
I
cake.
never thought looking back then that I would be where I am today if it was based on that horror story.
Your YouTube education.
Right.
That's been a really, really good YouTube. That it was a really good YouTube class. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny. I
Yeah.
can't. I mean, yeah, I don't have any. I mean, we've all come across some pretty hairy
Lifted some skin. I'm guilty. We done all lifted some skin, I'm sure.
Oh, we've all lifted a little skin. We've all. Oh, sorry.
Took off a little too much on the brow.
Yeah. I mean, and you learn from it, and you grow, and you don't make these mistakes again, and you know that anything can happen, right? But you do the best you can, and so
And listen, to piggyback off, and not to cut you off, but you said something, we learn. I've had some clients come to me who've been to other people who said, look what happened to me. Or so the learning part, if we have clients who this has happened to and they don't reach out to us and let us know, how can we learn from it? I don't know who your last esthetician was, or that she did this to you, and she probably don't know. So I could help you in how to fix it now, but we as professionals, yeah, we may make some mistakes or may cause something, but if you don't let us know, and you ain't got to let us know in a Google review and dog us out, but if you could pick up the phone and call us and let us know that X, Y, and Z happened, then we could tell you. Exactly. I did have one client called me. It was after a wax, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I broke out so bad," and I'm freaking out. Like, what did I do? Like I definitely don't double dip. I sanitize everything. I said, "Well, what did you do? Did you go work out afterwards? Did you do this? Did you do that?" And she's like, "Well, I did go swimming."
Ding, 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 ding.
Hello. That's one of the first things I tell you not to do. So you just went and got in some chlorine after a fresh wax? Honey, that's not my issue. That's your issue.
That's right. And they think, oh, well, you didn't tell me, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. And so now I have absolutely gone into the habit, before I do anything, before I touch them, are you on antibiotics? What medication are you taking? Are you using any type of cosmetics with any type of retinol in it? And then they sit and then, oh yeah, that like weird, retinol I bought from CVS I used on my face. Well, it's used on your face. Guess where it travels to? Your eye. So when I lift you, well, you need to come back in 2 days when you're not when you're not using that anymore, because I'm not going to lift skin on you. I've gotten in the habit because I'm not going to do that. But then they don't tell you, and well, tell me what you've done at home. Tell me what you're doing. And oh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about going in the hot tub or going to take my hot yoga class after my wax. We're going to make that happen.
And guess what happens? You don't do them and you educate them. And 9 times out of 10, they probably going to go right down the street to the next salon and tell a lie. and get their brow waxed because they want it. They need it right now.
They want it. They need it at 100%. Yeah, 100%. I'd rather just turn you away if you told me that you are using it. I know, because I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to do I'm doing what's, again, because I care about my clients, is that I care for you and I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to see you lift your eyebrows or lift a piece of skin off your lip. I'd rather have you come back because I care about your result. I care about my reputation. And I know right from wrong. And I've learned the right way. So I'm not going to do that just for the money.
Right,
Not
right.
doing it. Not doing it. It's a question of like ethics. You know, I don't
Yes,
I don't
absolutely.
want to do that. I have clients who come in for like, let's just for a lash tint, right? Just, I know we're talking about waxing, but a perfect example is that they have black eyelashes, black. I go, I can put it on you. You might see a little boldness today, but I'm going to tell you there's no difference. So I don't want to see you waste your money. Come in and get another service because I'm trying to, I care about you and your service and your experiences with me. So I'm not going to do a service just for the money because
Exactly.
you're going to go somewhere else.
Yep, yep.
Because you're not going to think that you're getting the result that you want or whatever, you know. So I'd rather just be upfront, you know, and honest.
And it's hard to find.
I think it is because I have worked alongside other people who will do that service. Oh, well, they booked it. Yeah, but it's kind of our job to be that educator, to call them and let's run down the list of what did you do?
Right.
You know, so that's, I don't know, that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then, are you off today? Are you working today? What are you doing today?
No, I'm off today, so just trying to tidy up here at the shop.
You're the janitor.
Yep, being a janitor today. I need to write down some clients I need to reach out to, so I'll do that, and gotta go bank deposit. So yeah, I'm just running a small business.
Sometimes I mean, and I know, I don't know if you have it, but like we have it like that'll automatically, I don't know, like any type of marketing business that could generate for you. I think this is a marketing tool that if you haven't seen them for 3 months, it automatically sends them a reminder, or 6 months, it automatically sends them like a text reminder. Hey, we were thinking of you, blah, blah, blah.
So I do have that through my booking app, and I need to set that and do it. I'm more of I do want to talk. Like, I want to talk to you. I do want to know, like, so I do genuinely appreciate my clients that come in here consistently, and I can have a conversation with them, you know? And when they leave, or if I haven't seen somebody in a few months, I'll be like, oh, wow, I haven't seen such and such. And then I think about them, and then I forget to text them. I forget to email.
Because it's not that you forget to text, it's the 1,000 other things that are demanding your attention, that you want to have attention to detail to, you know, your wax, your room. So I don't think because forgetting makes you feel like, I just forgot about them. And I don't think that we forget about them. Unfortunately, we just you sort of lose just your train of thought for a minute because you have so many other demands going on in what you need to do. No, I get it.
Yeah.
So that's all.
But what works best for you, Nikila, in terms of
Can you hear him?
maintaining contact with clients?
I would say just the different things that I offer, like on Wednesdays, I do Wine Wednesdays, you know, twice a month, I do like a surprise treat day. Annually, I'm doing client appreciation. They come, I have clients because I have Fiji water out every day, like every time, you know, so I have a snack bar. So they appreciate little things that I do. And again, it's the little things that I do to try to make my clients feel special and try to, you know, let them know that I appreciate them. But it's that one moment when you have to stick to your policy because you gave them opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't your first time, you canceled on me.
European Wax Center isn't giving him a snack bar.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, the one time that I have to charge you and I do decide to stick to my policy, I'm the bad guy. So
no, it's not easy. It's not easy when there is that policy in place and we give them ample notification and ample notice. 24-hour cancellation policy. If same day this is for me, this is ours, same day cancellation, you will be charged at least 50% of your service if if the service cannot be fit. So we have a couple of things. I had a very good client. I love her to death. Nothing personal. It's business. She did not show up for her waxing her waxing service. I was not able to fill her slot. She got charged. I'm sure she's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
But there's nothing I can do about that. I showed up for work today. I did the best I can. I was ready and available. And if I have to cancel or if I have to move things around, I do the very best I can to give them ample notice that I'm on vacation or don't book or something happens. But things happen all the time.
They do. They do. And I have, I had a client that came in, brand new client. I never met her before. She came into my client appreciation Saturday and she said, I was going to come. I had an appointment. I paid for it. And I just didn't show up because I was scared.
Oh my goodness.
So, but she bought the buy two get one free that I did, the special client appreciation. And I talked to her about, how the worst one is going to be the worst one. But once we get that hair growing and we get it on a cycle, you'll be good. But there may be some clients out there that may be scared. And even though you may be scared, it's a matter of just respecting my time and my policies. So a simple phone call, and I could have talked to her like, don't be scared. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to walk you through it. Let's get it done and over with. So I think people just don't respect our time because I used to charge 50% if they didn't, I used to charge 50%. And then I spoke to a couple of people and, who's been in the industry for a while. And they're like, your time
is worth the money. It is worth it.
Worth 100%. They're going to charge you. They book your time slot. So if you charge X amount of dollars for that service, why are you only charging half price if they didn't show up? You don't have a chance to fill it because on my online, you have like 2 hours or something where it blocks off or you can't book in advance for other people to see the appointment. So it just kind of screws us up.
It really does.
Yeah. And so on the back end of that, sometimes I may have to charge you because you calling me 30 minutes before your appointment saying that you can't make it. I may have to charge you, but then if you come back next month, I may be willing to give you, a $10 discount just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You work with people and I hate, and there are times where I understand I'll work with someone a little bit. I'm not always going to have to do it, but just let me know. Give me that respect of that phone call. Don't just not show up. Please just don't show up. Just let me know. And, there was time later in the day. I would have stayed. I would have worked it out and you feel really bad. But at the end of the day, like you said, my time is worth it. I showed up to work today and this is the respect that I feel like, I'm a professional and I'm running the business.
Yeah. And I think what it is it's just the individual. They look at themselves and not putting themselves in our shoes where we dealing with 10 to 20 people in a day or something, it's like, well, if I have my day projected already and I have 10 clients on my book, well, out of those 10, maybe 3 might have needed to move their appointment. Maybe another one was a no call, no show. So you have a day of like, what is going on? And I've had days like that.
Oh, me too. It falls apart. You watch it just fall apart. And you're like, what is going on? Cancellation, move, no show, this. You're like, all right, well, why did I bother getting out of bed?
Exactly.
Why did I bother?
So we still try to show up and I have a 10-minute policy. Like you have to be here within because the way I book my schedule and then it throws the next person off, and I'm not going to be late.
I'm not going to be late for my next client.
Right.
Yep.
So I have made adjustments where, I've had to move a client. I just Friday, I had a client that she had like a 15-minute service, but she was 10 minutes late. I'm like, there's no way I can get you in But I moved her to a later slot, which is unfair to me because Friday I'm like, oh, I got this gap. I can run and do what I
Yep,
need to do.
that's right. But no, yep.
But again, I said I'll take you a little bit later. So I do try to accommodate my clients, but
Again, you have a
sometimes,
life too. Sometimes you
yeah,
have a commitments that you can't stay late or you can't do something. I totally get it. I had a client a couple weeks ago. She was the second time I've seen her, and she was a huge, huge service. She was a full leg, a Brazilian, a full arm. She was
mhm,
a long service. Let's just say her appointment was at 10:30. Well, at 10:30, she called and said she's not coming. Well, no. So we're going to charge you. Oh, please don't charge me. I'm at the doctor's. Well, you knew an hour ago you were going to the doctor, or you knew even before that that you weren't feeling well. You know,
yes,
15 minutes before your appointment that you weren't coming. I'm
yep,
sorry, I'm charging you. And
yep,
I can be there. Miraculously, when they're getting charged, they're going to show up. They said,
oh
well,
yeah,
can I just come in for a brow wax? No. How is a brow wax going to, no, like absolutely
right,
not. One is not equal to the other. And she was upset, but I said, I'm sorry. This is a huge chunk of my day. You didn't respect me enough to give me a phone call. And
yep,
she didn't come in and she was mad,
yeah.
but too bad.
And yeah, and like me, I guess because I'm in the industry and I know this happened, if I can't make an appointment, like if I call my lash lady last minute, like,
Yeah,
hey, oh, it's outside of 24 hours, something came up, I can't make it. Guess what I'm doing? I'm telling her,
that's
charge
right.
my card,
My card.
or I'm going to pay her. Give me your cash app because
Correct.
I don't want to inconvenience. I know how it is when you're a small business and you're working for yourself and you're expecting,
X amount of
XYZ.
dollars today.
Yeah. So yeah, I do that.
It was rude and I didn't feel like she cared and she wasn't really apologetic. She was just pissed off that her card was going to get charged a pretty penny. And that's what bothered me more than anything. So it's just her lack of disrespect. So I didn't feel like I owed her that in return. I just said, no, sorry, that's our policy charger. That's it. Call it a day. It is what it is.
Right.
Move on to the next. And that's that. That is that. I felt so bad last night after reading that crazy review. If someone has an issue with you, this is our livelihood. And I don't think that certain people understand when you blast me on Yelp or Google or something, the effect that has on you personally, because you go into every treatment, every client wanting to do good for them, right? And they take that this is our livelihood. This is where we build our lives on. And as a woman to a woman, call me up and let's have a conversation about how we can resolve this, because you're a businesswoman. You want to take care of her. She was a client. I feel you, because it's something we deal with and it sucks.
Yes, it is. And it's so crazy because I haven't seen her since December of 2023.
Yeah.
And for her to not reach out to me, not one time, and it could be, maybe I should have reached out to her. But for her to do it on my client appreciation day, 10 months later,
that's right.
It's like
that was
you're
mean.
really trying to tear me down on my day.
Right. When I am trying to show my appreciation. And if that triggered something in her, let her call you as woman to woman, business owner, client to professional. Hey, something's been not sitting well with me. Can we have a conversation?
Absolutely. And I have a good heart. And and that's one of the things that we may take for granted, like our clients, just when we don't see them after a while, do we reach out to them or do we just let them go and like say, hey, it's another. So I have to get better being a solo business owner. When I'm the secretary, I'm the janitor, I'm the service provider, I'm the accountant, I'm everything. It's just me. So I can't compete with chain businesses.
That's
and
right.
In the review, she threw me under the bus for a chain business. We are not the same,
No.
So I don't have nobody that can call you and talk about your experience, or it's me. And I do have a life and a family outside of my small business.
Of
And
course
so,
you do.
yeah,
And we try to
it
divide
didn't sit
ourselves
well.
in all of our halves to be everything and all of those slots, all of those boxes that we put ourselves in, the best business owner, the best friend, wife, mother, everything.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're wearing all the hats in your whole business. So, okay, you take it as a learning lesson. Maybe I start reaching out to clients, or I get something that's going to flag me if I haven't seen someone in 3 months, 6 months.
Right.
And but it's hard again, because you're still trying to provide all of that day-to-day service, the day-to-day work, to go back to see that client that you've seen a couple times 6 months ago. It's really hard. I understand that. I had a similar incident happen, I'd say about 6 months ago. Come to find out that this woman was fired from multiple salons in the area. She had issues with hairdressers. She blasted me on Yelp, said I took half her eyebrow off, but she used my last name. And I said, whoa, like, you want to use my first name? Okay, I'll take it. But I don't know you. You don't know my background, my situation. Who are you to put my last name out there?
Right.
And, she really just went ahead and blasted me, said like that personally, I wasn't listening. It was really, really nasty. And I felt really bad. And so I hope that people can see overall the good reviews that I have, and see this one small portion of this person. And I'm sure that's the same for you, but that's the one thing that just sticks in my craw. Like, she had the audacity to do that instead of just saying, hey, can we work
Absolutely.
together?
Absolutely. And so I think, I went back, because I do try to keep good notes on my clients. And so I went back and I looked at her notes, and I seen where it says I was on the phone with my booking company because she had an issue with her card or something. I was on the phone for hours trying to resolve that. And I'm like, okay, when she said I was on the phone, I'm like, I normally don't do that if I get, because again, I'm the secretary.
Correct.
So if my phone ring, I have to answer my phone, but I'll let them know like I'm with the client, or sometimes I don't answer it. I'll just call back. But I was on the phone trying to resolve an issue for her.
Right. So, it's almost like you want to respond, but you don't. You almost want to respond and say, I'm sorry for the way that you feel. Please feel free to reach out to me privately. And I would love to be able to resolve this situation privately. And it's almost like you let her know, I acknowledge you, I hear you, but let's handle this like adults. And no, what does she think? You're going to respond to her on social media and go back and forth? And
exactly. And that's not me. I'm not going to do that. I tussle with this. I prayed about this. And, I got some scriptures this morning that just kind of helped me.
Good.
And just some friends and business people that kind of talked to me. One of my business coaches did a podcast, and it was actually about clients' relationship. So just listening to all those things, it just make me kind of humble myself and check myself on how I am having a relationship with my clients. And, I was talking to another esthetician this morning, and she was saying how she'll call after she haven't seen somebody, and, she'll just reach out, but she was getting like they were kind of like, oh, is she just reaching out because she needs some money, or you know what I'm saying? So
because people don't actually think that you genuinely care. I genuinely care when I see you. We spend time together regularly. You tell me things. I remember that it was your daughter's birthday. I remember that you were going to get a new job. Like, that is my job to remember these things. And because I'm reaching out to you, is because I look at like you're part of my work life. You're part. My clients become part of you. You relate to them.
You genuinely care, and I think we normalize people just being rude, people being mean, people not caring. So when somebody do genuinely reach out, it's not that they just want your money.
Correct.
It's we care. We are in the
Yeah.
We are in the relationship building business.
We
I
are.
have clients, like I said, I've been through divorces, I've been through pregnancies, I've been through breakups, I've been
Yep.
through,
All of it.
dating, all of that
All
with
of
them.
it.
And I
All
do
at the same time with the same person.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. I am sharing
And
something right now too with a
mhm,
client, and she
mhm,
comes in and she's not a waxing client. Oh no, she is a facial waxing client, that I will say,
mhm,
but she's
mhm.
a skincare client, and she is sharing with me some pretty intimate things going on in her life and her marriage right
Mhm.
now, and things like that. And I am just, I think her sounding board, that I am a safe space,
Yep.
and it is really nice for her to trust me. I listen when need to be listened. If she asks me for my point of view or an advice, I try to give her the best I can, because I genuinely, like you said, care. And a lot of people put a lot of trust, not just to touch their physical bodies, but their emotional sense too. And I
Absolutely.
don't think that that is something that is really touched on in aesthetics, in waxing, that we are one of the, nobody sees you like we see you, except maybe your partner or your doctor, right? And
Right.
it's vulnerable, and we listen to you. And I think people rarely look at us like that, friends, therapists, all of that. So
Yeah.
when we're calling, like you said, because I haven't seen you in 3 months, it's not like you said, I need my commission this month. It's, hi, is everything okay with you? I'm just checking in.
Right. And yes, and I do need to get better at that. In the beginning, I used to do it all the time, but as my business grow, I'm stretched so thin. It's like,
I
oh
agree.
shoot.
Yeah, and again, it's a learning lesson. You take it and you
It
say,
is.
okay, I'm going to try to, maybe I take an hour all week, and
Mhm.
I can return some phone calls. So you look at it like that. I'm going to find growth from this. I'm going to,
Mhm.
do the best I can with getting better and growing, because that's what experiences we learn. We should learn from our experiences, right? So I think that
Absolutely.
we'll take it as a learning experience. Like you said, you have a good heart. You truly
Mhm.
care. You never would do anybody any harm, and you're there for your clients. So
Yep.
crazy,
So,
crazy. I know
yes.
it's not easy when you get those. I mean, I understand. I think I've written a bad review. It was on a dentist, and
Mhm.
he was so mean to me. I mean, this was years ago. I mean, he was just mean, and I wrote one bad review. But then I said, what good is that doing? That's just me being little bitchy and venting. And when I could have just called the office and said, hi, I won't be back. And that said it right there and then. So I haven't written a bad review since. But
Yeah.
um, I don't think people realize how it affects you, because that stayed with
Right.
me. Yeah.
It does. It does. It does stay. It does. But I'm learning to let things go. I'm going to take this for sure as a learning lesson. I am definitely going to respond. The fact that she compared me to a chain,
Yeah,
though,
you're
it's
not
like, are
right.
you trying to grow their business and
Yeah,
diminish mine? So
right.
that is the only thing. And the lies, like the lies
Yes,
that was in it. But it's, what can you
in her
do?
own head.
What can you do? And so, hey, it is what
Nothing.
it is. Gotta
It
one.
is. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It
Mhm.
was funny all week long. I'm like, oh, so we're gonna get any good waxing stories this week? Am I gonna get anything good? I had a very boring week. Everybody was so normal. I was just like, oh well, just very normal waxing. Nothing too particular, which was actually pretty good. I did have one girl came in, and she was a pretty average waxer. She waxed pretty often, but she only really waxed with strip wax for her Brazilian. I said,
Mhm.
okay. I said, well, I use hard wax. This is what's in my room. And I gave her the option. Please feel free, if you would like to reschedule and see someone else. This is your comfort level. I understand. No, 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 no. I said, I promise you, it'll be a nice experience. And she said, okay.
Mhm.
I said, tell me a little bit about why you were, you weren't comfortable with hard wax. And she said, well, I think it was the girl who did it. So I think what people get an idea of one particular wax when it's maybe someone's waxing style.
Mhm.
So she goes, the girl really didn't know what she was doing. She pulled, it got clumped. And I go, okay, well, I can promise you it's going to be a very different experience. And she goes, oh, that was great. That was so easy. But I felt like I'm like talking her into my waxing style and all of that, just using hard wax, strip wax. And do you
Mhm.
get that? Like, do you do both wax? Do you use both or
So
one?
I be back and forth.
Yeah.
I was strictly hard.
Yeah.
Then I started using strip just on the top mound.
Yeah.
And then I went back to strictly hard, and
Yeah.
now I'm back. And I think it's an individual. Honestly, I feel
Yeah.
like my clients that come consistently, their hair has thinned out so much. I get a much cleaner wax, a much
With the strip
cleaner.
wax on certain areas. I can see
Yes.
that. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
can.
So, yep. So that's what I do.
Yep.
Some people just don't some people probably have had the experience of strip wax and did not like, because I was one. I got somebody used strip wax on me one time. I was out of town in Georgia actually,
Yeah.
and for the first time they had used strip, and I said, mm-mm. I had her stop. I said, mm-mm, I can't do this. I can't do this to my clients. Well, once the hair started thinning out, like I had it done again, and it was fine. So I'm like, okay, I think if the hair is thinner,
I agree.
they can handle it. Yeah.
I agree. The thinner, I would opt to use strip wax for thinner hair as well. I do my best with the hard wax. I've learned to tweak it and know how to get up those small hairs. But I agree. Sometimes having the strip wax handy is nice on certain types of hair. But it was nice that she was open. The girl was like, no, I trust you and this and that. And I said, okay, great. And her service ended up being really good. It was a good positive experience. So I was glad. That was a question that I find that people are like, oh no, I'm only strip wax. Or no, I'm only hard wax. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's just do both.
Yeah. What about tweezers? What's your take on tweezing?
I don't.
At all?
Nope.
Okay.
Because now you have, I feel like your client, now you're tweezing their entire bikini for. Listen, if everything looked perfect and you had 3 hairs left, 4 hairs left, sure, I would go in and take that. But I just look at if the hair's not ready, the hair's not going to come. I'm not going to go pulling at it. It can be a little uncomfortable. It's very tedious, very hot under the lamp. I just think that sets up your client to expect that from everybody, because not everybody does it and all the time. I think if we follow the rules of waxing, and if you come on that consistent basis, the hair will eventually all catch up and it'll all go. So no, I am not a tweezer. I know people are. How much do you tweeze?
I don't tweeze a lot, but I do have clients that I may have to get those prisky hairs, especially my clients that don't exfoliate. I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I want all this hair gone.
Yeah.
And so if there's like 3 or 4, that just won't come out, I don't want to compromise the skin by continue going over it with the wax. I will tweeze it. So, but I have some clients they hate tweezers.
Yes, they hate it.
And I do too.
I get it. I do too. So that's why I don't. Again, I think we're on the same page. I don't introduce it or don't do it unless I really have to make that perfectly clean, pristine look.
Yep.
It's not something that I want to do. Sometimes the waxing is just enough.
Yes. And then too, that's also where we can educate our clients, because if you have those hairs that's under the skin and we need to tweeze them out or lift that skin to get it out, you're not doing your job at home as a client. So I kind of use that as.
Do you send your clients home with a package or any type of, what do you send them home for any kind of home care or tell them to do?
So I have a card that I would give them, a post-care card.
Good.
That I keep in shop that they can purchase. And then I do have samples that, that I'll give them.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
I do sell them the 86 pads from Bombshell. I try, I suggest and just say that this is going to help them from like the first day after wax till the day they come back. Tea tree oil, keeping it clean. It's helping to exfoliate all of the things that we want their skin to do. Do we see a great result when they're using it consistently? Absolutely. But I was actually just having a conversation too about somebody who wanted to learn vajacials and how to exfoliate the skin and how to, and I think that's actually a pretty good thing if you have somebody who is dealing with staining, really severe ingrowns, a lot of red and irritation and things like that. So I would suggest maybe they use these like intimate care products once a week if that's something that they're using too at home, which I think can be helpful.
Mhm.
And again, it makes their
Yeah.
wax better.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I try to, that's what I tell my clients, like, I'm only seeing you once a month. You apply this as needed at home,
Yep.
making sure you're exfoliating, making sure you're moisturizing that skin. So when you do come in here to get waxed, it's less painful. You'll have a better experience.
They don't really get it. Like it's 80% of what they do at home, and this little 20% is what we do at home and or in the salon. And you can't fight against the damage, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, that they do all month long. Even like
Right.
I use the old school dentist. Just like you go to the dentist, you floss, you brush, you use mouthwash, you do all of these things. You see your
Right.
dentist twice a year. That's not all you do to take care of your teeth. You have to you have to do your part too. So I kind
Yep.
of use it as the same kind of scenario. You have to treat your skin at home and take care of it too. Yeah. So I don't know, how have you been? Have you been busy? These last few weeks have been so slow. I don't know where everybody is, but they're not coming into the salon. I don't know. I was getting a little frightened.
Yeah, hey, this is the time we need to be reaching out to the clients, I guess.
Yes.
But I was overwhelmed because was getting prepared for my client appreciation, which just happened this past Saturday. So so I've been busy.
Good,
But in the studio though, it's slowed down. It's kind of a slow period for me during the winter months. I think people think that during the winter they don't need to get waxed as much, but
I don't understand that thought, but it makes it so much worse. Just keep it going. The beginning of September's a slow month, like that, the slow time for us in the salon, usually by now. And I mean, this week it's picked up, but last week I was like, oh, good Lord, is there a client going to walk in the door? Like we were all chomping at the bit, but it was, hopefully it's turning around a little bit.
Yeah, it will. It will.
It definitely will, but it's all good. We have a couple of exciting classes coming up, and I hope really just kind of get people excited about waxing throughout the winter months and things like that, because I think that's important. What did you do for your client appreciation?
Oh, I did a lot.
Good.
So I did giveaways. I had raffles. I had about 9 clients that have been coming to me since 2018, 2019. So what I did, if I've seen them 7 times, at least 7 times this year, I gave a gift card. So people that have been coming to me from like 2018 to 2019 got a certain amount. People that has been coming to me from like 2020 to 2022, and then from 23 to now. And if I seen you, and I had a ton of clients. And so that is my way of showing the appreciation, giving gratitude,
Absolutely.
yeah, because I don't get to reach out to them often. I don't. And that could be my fault. I need to take that time. Like you said, maybe take an hour a week and just reach out to a few clients that I haven't seen in a while. And so, but my client appreciation that I do annually is my way of giving back to my clients. So.
I think it's wonderful. I think they like it. I think that it's a nice way to show that your business has stopped for a day, for a moment, to acknowledge why you are in business because of your clients, let's face it. And I think that that's a good thing. Why not?